In this video I'm going to show you how to add an image to a page in your Android app. So the first thing we have to do is put an image into the Drawable folder. So to do that, let's have a look at where our Drawable folder is. So it's in Resources, your code's in the Java folder in here. So here's your Drawable folder. Now it can be a little bit tricky to find this folder, so one little trick I've figured out is if you right click on here, you can actually copy the path, and then it makes it easier to put something into that folder. So I'm going to go to my saved pictures. I've got an image here called Illusion that I want to put into my Drawable folder. If I click on that and I press copy to, and I choose the location, in here in the folder I can just paste now because I've got the Drawable path in clipboard, and press copy. So to make sure that's worked, let's go back to Android Studio, and if you open up that Drawable folder you can now see that that JPEG is in there. Now this is not a big JPEG, but it should be big enough for a mobile phone, probably not big enough for a tablet if you're going to stretch it across. So just think about the resolution of the largest screen that you might want your image to appear on. Okay, so once it's in the Drawable folder we can include that into a page. So I'm going to add that picture to my main page. So we go to the layout of the main page called Activity Main XML, and we've already got a text view up the top and a button at the bottom. I want to put an image in between those two, so basically I'm going to put it here. If I click and drag an image view into here, it will just add it to the bottom, but I can change the order in this text view anytime. And the order does influence the layering of objects as well. So if you want your image to be stretched across the entire page, so to match the parent, you would want your text view and your button listed after it so that they're on top of the image and not hidden beneath it. So it depends if you're going to have your image placed between things or under things. Okay, so go to the design view, or you can start typing image view, it's up to you. Image view is a bit harder to find, you've got to scroll down to images and media and slide on an image view. Now I'm going to put my image view under my home page, so you can sort of see it sort of snaps into position there. Obviously it will expand to fill depending on the size of the image, so you can click. It has a list of things that you can drop in, so the things from your that you've used before in your Drawable folder or are currently in your Drawable folder are listed at the top here, and you click OK, and there it is there. So at the moment the height and width of this image are both on wrap content, so it's just showing the whole size of the image. So like I said before, it's not very big. I think I'm going to add some padding to the bottom of my home page just to buffer it a bit against this image. So we go to here and we can add padding. So you'll find padding quite close to the top, and we want to add padding to the bottom, so click on padding bottom, and we can just type straight into here the type of padding, the size of padding we want. So I'm going to add 10 dot points. and click enter, and you can see it pushes the image down a little bit. Okay, if we want this image centered on the page, we can grab it and slide it, and it'll actually show you when that center line appears. And now when you look at the text version, so the image has been added to the bottom and its layout is center horizontal true, and the layout is below the text view, so the relative position is below the heading text view. Okay, you can also center this way if you want to have it in the center. You can scale it to different sizes as well. Okay, so to change the size of your image, you go to scale, and one way I've found to do it is to choose fit XY, and at the moment it's fitting its maximum height and width. So X is horizontal, Y is vertical, and then you can change the scale. So at the moment the scale is 1 and 1 by default, but if you want to make it a bit bigger, say 1 1/4 size compared to what it is now, you would do 1.25 in both dimensions, and it grows it by 1/4. Okay, so that's how you add an image. One thing I should mention is that if when you run your emulator the spaces between your objects is not the same as in this preview, it could be because you've got a different phone selected up here from the one you're running in the emulator. So my emulator runs a Nexus 4 and I have Nexus 4 chosen up here. But if you're running a different different phone, like a Nexus 5X or something, and you've got Nexus 4 selected here, then it'll have a different screen size. So for instance, the Nexus 5 is a taller phone, and so it has bigger gaps between things, and the Nexus 5X is even bigger again. So if you've got a huge gap here when you're looking at the preview, and in your Nexus 4 emulator you don't, it's because this is not matching your emulator. So you can just choose your emulator. Okay, so that's how you add an image.